Turbo Trading with head trader Robert Knight, MBA.
This is a video on the term triple witching and quad witching, and quite often it's referred to as the quad witching hour and the triple witching hour, which is the very last hour of the trading day. Now, what happens on these days, the triple and the quad, is that the derivatives of the contract derivatives of underlying stocks all expire on this, 4 times a year, every quarter: March, June, September, and December. And the ones that expire are the stock index futures, stock index options, stock options, and single stock futures. So they all expire at the same time today, those contracts. So it creates, in of itself, it doesn't necessarily create more volatility, but it does create more volume. Typically on quad witching or triple witching, you have increased amount of volume, heavy volume, as investors and institutions adjust their positions by exercising the options, or selling the options and replacing them with new ones, or the index futures. All of that taking place because they all expired today, or in this case, in this quarter. Now, so there's typically it's a lot of heavy volume because they're offsetting the existing futures and option contracts that are profitable. In recent history, though, it also has created a lot of volatility. It's not necessarily, but you should expect, as Tyler aptly puts it, shenanigans going on, especially in the last hour. So the 4 contracts are option contracts, which are derivatives, and you have an underlying security, such as stocks. And so I think we're familiar with what the options are. Call options, put options. And then there's the index options, which are like a stock option, but instead of buying an individual security, they give you an option on a pool of stocks like the S&P 500. The owning an option doesn't give you the right. It doesn't give you ownership of the individual stock, but it gives you the right to buy or sell it. And when those expire, you need to lock in your profits, either by selling the stock and exercising the option, or buying the stock and exercising your option, depending on put or call, or just selling the option. The other one which is new, is the single stock futures. It's a futures contract, and you're obligated to buy the underlying asset at expiry. And then you have index futures, which gives you a future on the price of the index, SPY, NDX, all those things. So what does it mean in terms of today? Well, you have a lot of bad news coming out, so it'll be exacerbated by the quad witching today. As the markets sell off, it'll create impetus and there's huge volume. This is the heaviest volume on the put side in recent memory, in recent history. So that is going to put a lot of pressure on the markets, and markets could continue to sell off here as a cause of that. On the other note as well, it tends to be that after a quad witching hour, indices over the next couple of weeks continue to sell off. Could be buyer exhaustion. Who knows why it does, but typically that's what occurs.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Reach new levels of trading proficiency. Become a member at TurboTrading.biz.